Welcome to Always Moving Forward with Renee.
Moving forward.
Welcome back to part 3 of Always Moving Forward with Renee. And my co-host today is Tina. And Tina, give them your last name. I don't want to mess it up.
It's Brigley, Tina Brigley.
Tina Brigley. And you know what? We're going to start off something different. Tina, I want you to tell them how they can get in touch with you right now.
You can call me at 519-819-3184. You can find me on my website, www.tinabrigley.com, or on Facebook at Tina Brigley Coaching.
Okay, and you know, John 15th chapter, 12th verse states, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you." We're doing things a little different today. As you know, the last 2 shows, if you were with us, Tina, who is a relationship coach, she told us some very valuable information that we can take and use in our relationships. But today we're going to have, you know, this gentleman right here, Mr. Antone Bell of
Bell
BGN
Global Network.
TV Gospel Bell Global Network. Okay, he's going to sit in and Tina's going to work with him a little bit. They're going to do something and I'm just going to sit back and I'll chime in when I see necessary. Okay, take it away.
Hey, first and foremost, I'm happy to be on the show with you all. It's Antone, Choirboy Bell, CEO of Bell Global Network. How y'all doing? I enjoyed the other 2 shows, first and foremost, just kind of producing the show, doing what I do behind the cameras, and now I'm back in the front of the camera, so it's a blessing to be here with you all. I love your show and what you do. Make sure y'all continue to watch this show. I'm telling you, one of the #1 shows on our network. You're doing big things, and hey, it's a blessing. And you, relationship coach. You know, you got your whistle.
Oh yeah,
You're
in the hot seat.
Are you on the sideline? You selling people in and out. Relationship coach. Yes, it's a blessing to have you here.
Thank you.
Because I know a lot of people that's watching right now are in relationship problems.
Yeah.
You know, and I think first and foremost, I think people may be first and foremost scared to invite somebody into their actual relationship as a coach.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that hit me when I was watching was like, how can somebody be encouraged to actually have you as a relationship coach into their relationship? Should they wait till their relationship, you know, gets all the way just bad, or can you fix it like when stuff first happens and nip it in the bud?
It's actually a great question because I've noticed, and I've done a lot of research, there are some stages in a marriage breakdown. I'll call it a breakdown, you know, when you realize that there's something that's wrong. So in the beginning, you know, you're kind of in that love stage where everything is great.
Oh, honeymooning.
There's so much endorphins and like
everybody.
Baby,
I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, everything you do. Oh, you so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, that's so nice.
Like, nothing you could do.
You're still waking up and can look at him.
Yeah, you know, like it's just like literally the reason why they say you're like, you know, love sick or whatever, because there's so many endorphins.
Sure.
And everybody puts their best identity, I'll call,
now.
forward, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, and so they don't show their true colors in the beginning. Then all of a sudden something happens where they're like, whoa, wait a minute. This isn't the person I married. This isn't the person that I started dating.
Right.
This is how simple it is.
Wow.
I'll share my story. I call it the mustard story. No joke. This is the mustard story. I moved out of the house when I was 16 years old, okay? I worked when I was still in high school, independent. So here I am, I decide to move in with my boyfriend. We bought a house together. And we had just gone grocery shopping for the first time together.
Oh, wow.
In our new home. We're putting our groceries away. And I put the mustard on the shelf.
Uh-oh.
And my husband, who wasn't my husband at the time, he was
Uh-oh.
just my boyfriend, He said, why are you putting the mustard on the shelf? It goes in the door.
Oh.
That was the death of our relationship. No, I'm not even joking. Because in that moment, I'm like, whoa, I didn't sign up for this.
Wow.
Like, I can't even put the mustard where I want to put it, like, because I'm independent, right?
For sure.
I mean, I've been on my own since I was 16, and now you're going to tell me where to put the mustard?
Mm.
Whoa, that was the power struggle right there, over the
Right.
mustard. So guess what? What I realize is we start these power struggles of like somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose, and I'm going to dig in my heels and he's going to dig in his heels. And then there's kind of like this moment where we start shifting into like defending the person.
Oh.
You know, like, oh, he's just working a lot.
Mm.
He's just stressed. He's just old. Like, he's just,
yeah.
you know, whatever we say, you know, like we start because now some of us have bought houses together. We moved in together. We have kids together. So you don't want to like, oh man, this is the person that I didn't think I was marrying this person, but
Right.
I'm stuck now. So I got to make it work.
Wow.
And then there comes this time where it's like you start bargaining a little bit, where you're, you know, like, listen, if you don't stop going out with your friends, then that's it. I'm out the door. Or if you don't do this, or, you know, so you start like negotiating a little bit to try and get each other to come on your side, you know, come see my view. And then what happens is when that doesn't work, we get angry and bitter and resentful. And this is where 48% of marriages break down and they get a divorce, right? That's the divorce rate, 48%. Now,
48%.
that's high.
That's real high.
That's high.
That's half.
That's half. Now, what happens after that, people that stay together, they sometimes start they get over the anger, the bitterness, the resentment, and then they live these parallel lives. They find love outside of the relationship, in golfing, in work, in other things. You know, and they have these like ways to get out of avoiding intimacy and connection with their partner. You know, so working overtime, well, I'm just bringing money home.
Wow.
Well, no, not always. You're avoiding something. And then there's a communication breakdown. So then people are like, okay, well, I'm in the resignment stage. I'm in the, you know, this stage. Like, I'm doomed. And I say, no. How you shift that is with awareness.
Yeah.
You know, you just become aware. And there's so many. Yeah, I mean, you have to sign up for my program.
Yeah, no,
but
that's
ask me some
real.
questions.
No,
like,
okay, yeah, I'm gonna shoot you.
that's the real deal,
I'm gonna
right?
play like
What's
I would
happening?
say I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, but I'm gonna play the angels. Advocate,
Okay, that sounds better.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause I'm gonna ask you questions that maybe an average man may ask.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I guess you started. I start from where you start from because that's a good place to start from. You said the honeymoon stage, right?
Yep.
So that's when everything is just all fiery and more fiery and fireworks and everything. And then that stage eventually leaves in most relationships, right? Now
Yep.
the question is, can you bring that stage back into a relationship and maintain that stage in a relationship, or is just a phase?
People say no. My experience is yes, 100%. Because that stage in the beginning, you're showing up differently for your partner. Everything that they say, you appreciate, you love, you want to do what's best for them.
For sure.
You want to give them what they need. And then, like anything in life, it fizzles off because then it becomes work. You know, but if we're really committed to doing the work, and this is the work, okay, this is the real deal. The work is, I care so much about you, I want to give you what you need.
For sure.
I'm going to put my ego on the back burner, and I'm going to show up as the person that you need.
Both.
And guess what? You get it back. But they're like, well, I'm waiting for him to do it. That's what I hear all the time. Like, no, he's going to do it first. Why do I always have to be the one to go first? Why do I have to be the one? And it's like, it's not a competition. We're on the same team. What do we want? Do we want to be angry and bitter and resentful and living separate lives? No, that's not what we signed up for. You know, we want to have connection, which means we have to get off it a little bit, you know, like that ego trip.
But you know, it just takes two people.
Take two
Both
to tango.
of them have to want that.
Yes.
You know, and in so many relationships, people think, I'm giving in.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
I'm giving in. And he or she's not giving in.
Yeah.
You know, so it's got to be
Yeah.
two. You've got to get to two. And with being a relationship coach, do you ever get, okay, I'm coming to you, but he doesn't want to come. So how is it going to help my household when I'm coming willing to give
Come on,
100%
man.
and he's just there doing nothing?
You know, that is such a valid question,
That
and
is.
it's so important because this is what I say to people. When you start doing the work and then you show up differently, you speak differently, you contribute differently, guess what happens?
You hope and you pray that they become different.
You know what? By who you get to be in the relationship, it almost makes it difficult for the partner to be the way that they're being, because if you're always like, you know what, I really got that you're angry right now, and I really hear that you need this from me.
Wow.
Soon as you do that, they're like, whoa, wait a minute here. See, because what happens is we get in this communication pattern
Mhm.
where it's like, I trigger you, you trigger me, and then we stop talking, or whatever it is for you, right?
Yeah.
We have a way of dealing with each other. We always deal with each other that
Sure.
way. It doesn't work, but we don't stop it because we don't have the tools. So when you start communicating differently and you start seeing, this is the other big thing.
Come on, man.
You start seeing somebody differently. Like, remember I told you last segment that my view of my husband was that he was judgmental and critical,
Yeah.
and he was always going to say something negative.
Yeah.
You know, I was just looking for that. One of the best quotes that I heard that literally, and I'm not even joking when I say this, it literally shifted my relationship. Somebody said to me, Tina, the day you think you know your husband is the day you've killed the relationship.
Oh, now look, this is what I was about to ask you. We right on point. You know we on point, right? Because I want to give a shout out to my wife. Our anniversary, September 15th,
Yay.
12 years.
Congratulations.
We're going,
Ahead.
we're going on a cruise. You know
Oh,
what I mean? So
good.
we're gonna be cruising.
Okay.
We're gonna be cruising France. Yeah, but
Be back Wednesday.
say be back Wednesday. Yep. So I guess in a relationship, is it true that you always have to continue to get to know someone? You know, I guess it's the fact like you may think you know somebody completely, but really like I'm still learning things about my wife that I didn't know about her when I first met her.
Every day.
Come on, man.
Every day they walk through the door,
Every
if your
day.
mindset is like, I wonder what I'm going to learn newly about my wife.
Wow.
I wonder what she's going to say to me today that I'm going to see differently. That, you know, when you really stop and think about like what somebody's saying,
Wow.
you know, and you get to listen, like, you know, sometimes there's those people that complain about everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like they're complaining and you just stop and you're like, what is their wish underneath that complaint? You know, like what is it that they really wish? They're complaining, oh, my boss at work, she da da da, you know, and then you're like, wow, you really don't feel heard at work. What's that like for you? Whoa, you show up that way in your relationship where you're like, wow, I never saw that side of you before.
Wow.
Like really concerned about how your boss is showing up and how you know, whatever the case may be, whatever. If you listen for that wish, what is it that they really wish?
Wow.
And you start speaking to that wish, like, wow, like I really got it. You know what? I haven't been pulling my weight around here. I haven't been taking out the garbage. What's that like for you? That you have to pull the weight.
Wow.
I'm sorry. You know, it's like, whoa. They see you differently and then you see them differently because guess what? The softer side of her shows up.
So like in the in your time of doing this, who needs the most counseling, the man or the woman, or does it kind of vary? You know what I mean? Or 'cause I know automatically does some women think that you're gonna actually take their side when you go into the coaching? You know what I mean? Or does it just vary from relationship to relationship?
See, I coach men and women, but I coach them at different times.
Mhm.
And when the man says to me, but my wife does this and she's whatever he says, I'm like, oh no, she's not here to talk about herself. What are you doing to have her show up that way in your life? And then the wife will say, my husband does. What are you doing to have him show up that way in your relationship? And they're like, what? This isn't about me. This is about, no, it's always about us. See, when we really get that we are responsible for our life, how we view our world, we view the people in our world, then we take responsibility.
Right.
And then when we start doing that, and my clients, I had a client last week, she sent me a text message 10 minutes before the session. She said, listen, I'm not coming today because I don't want to take responsibility.
Oh, wow.
Because she knows that, I listen, and then I say, okay, what's there for you,
Do they yell at you ever?
I have had people yell at me.
Cry?
I've had lots of criers.
Any men cry?
Do I?
Any of the men cried?
They've been emotional, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, I always say, I like when people get triggered. I like when they show emotion. Because when there's a breakdown, when there's like a real serious, that feeling of I just can't take it anymore, there's always a breakthrough.
Wow.
But people don't allow themselves permission to have the breakthrough.
Oh.
They stop at the breakdown. They don't move forward. They stay stopped.
Do any of them just get up and walk out?
Wow.
Now, I would figure somebody would cry, get
Yeah,
emotional.
for sure.
But just to walk out, I don't want to deal with it.
Because they feel like you ain't taking their side.
I
There's no
did
word.
in the beginning of my coaching business. I was coaching a woman, and after 6 weeks, she quit.
Wow.
And she said to me, I'm not ready to move forward the way I know I have to. So there was something that she was dealing with,
Right,
and she
right.
discovered it. And she was so blessed that she discovered it. And now my job as a coach is to make sure you don't stay stuck in your story.
Yes.
Whatever it is that you're telling yourself. And when you're really confronted, people respond in one of three ways. They fight, they freeze, or they run away. Now, in the beginning, I didn't really know that she was just doing what she always does and ran away.
Wow.
And I didn't get that complete with her. I didn't really have the tools to say, listen, this is normal. Now it would be totally different. She wouldn't be walking out. I'd be like,
Did she come back?
she never came back.
Never came back?
Nope.
Wow.
And I did have a conversation after, though, when I got more skills and more training and development. And I said, I want to apologize to you. I failed you. She's like, what? No, I was good. I'm like, no. Your experience wasn't complete, and I didn't know how to make it complete for you. And she's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah. Because that's how far I could take you. Because I didn't realize.
You didn't go any further yourself.
Because I was a runner. Remember first segment, I talked about I ran away. So when somebody ran away, I didn't know how to coach them on that because I was doing the same thing. I didn't have my own breakthrough.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep leveling up, because when these things happen, I have to be prepared for anything.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Let me just ask
Yeah.
this. Okay, so a certified coach, that's what you are.
Yes.
Now, how did you become certified?
So, well, I mean, I have I have my honors in psychology, I have my bachelor's in education, but I took my training and development at the Health Coach Institute. There's a
Okay.
lot of training programs out there that are not certified, and this is, I'm Canadian, so it's endorsed by the Coaching Federation, and it's a legit program. So it was almost a year training and development. So I do have an actual certification.
Okay, so everyone, Tina is certified because there's so many people coming about now. Everybody's a coach.
Yeah. There's 100,000.
Everybody is some type of coach.
Wow. that's
100,000 a
good.
day
That's
are
good.
being certified.
Okay, that's being certified, but just think how many are not.
Yeah, I mean, and I say
Yeah.
certified,
Wow.
they have a certificate, because now, if I wanted to, I could become a trained life coach that can certify others.
Oh,
I
okay.
I say that you've done Tina Brigley coaching certification. Here's your certificate. You know, it's not, I mean, I'm not going to make anybody wrong for what they do.
For sure.
But what I do encourage anybody who's thinking about getting a coach, I say I may not be the coach for you. And I know that. I'm not the coach for everybody. But check. Ask them, are you investing in personal development? And where did you get your certification from? And what are your life experiences? Because really, you know, life experience, if you've been there, I want to be with somebody who knows what it's like to be a parent. I want to be with somebody who knows what it's like to have a marriage breakdown and to get through that. You know, I want somebody who's been in the trenches.
Yeah.
And I say to people, just ask those questions, you know, and you have to find a coach that really resonates with you. Because that's important too, because you're building a relationship.
Right.
If you're telling me your deepest, darkest fears and your worries and your joys, you got to trust me, you know, and that's the key.
Okay, Tina, tell them how they can get in touch with you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I talk too much.
No, you're good.
If you want to get a hold of me, you can contact me at 519-819-3184 or www.tinabrigley.com or on Facebook at Tina Brigley Coaching.
Okay.
All
Now
right.
go ahead.
Thank you.
I know it goes so quickly.
No, we're enjoying it though. This is a blessing. It's fun.
Right.
This is really fun, and I'm quite sure people getting great information. Now, is it different in coaching as far as like age and race? Is it different, or is it your approach the same? You know, you may coach a African American couple, you know what I mean, or you may coach somebody of a different race.
So this is my values and my beliefs. When you can be with people and get rid of the filter that we have, because we all have a filter. We think we're not judgmental. When we can get rid of that filter and we see people as people, there is no race. There is no color. There is no age. You know, that's what society makes us believe, that there's a division, and that's why our world is in the state that it's in, because we see division. There is no division. You, when I see you, you're a human being that has a story.
Correct.
And your story, I can probably relate to.
Yeah.
You know? And our life experiences might be different.
For sure.
Our upbringings might be different, but you know what? We all have a story.
Yeah. I mean, my
Tell
story.
them a little bit about your story.
Yeah, it's powerful. You know, I grew up in the church home, and then I eventually strayed away to the streets. You know, because I have like my family is unique. You know, we got the churchgoers, we got the workers, and we got the street side, the gangsters. You know what I mean? I grew up in the church home, but I strayed away to the other side. You know, with the gangsters, and I began hustling, pimping, just doing all type of stuff. You know, and then God eventually he turned my life around, and I gave my life back to God, and I've been an entrepreneur for going on like 12 years straight, working, business doing well, and relationship doing well with my wife, and you know, and my daughter. Just everything is just great. So it's a blessing to just be here sitting with you all, because I know that if it wasn't for God and my relationship with Him, I wouldn't be here today having this conversation with you, helping other people who going through turmoil and different situations in their life. You know, because when I first got married, me and my wife, we separated for a while, but we eventually ended up getting back together, and we've been back together ever since. But some of the stuff a lot of stuff you say, well, all the stuff you say is making sense, because I saw myself in a situation like, man, you know, if I had somebody like you years ago, then, you know, it probably would have been an easier journey for me. That's the reason why I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing, because I know it's helping a lot of people in their situations that may not even know that you exist or are able to do what you do.
Thank you. And what a powerful story. And you know, when I hear people share stories like that of triumph, and you've overcome so much, I can't help but think everything that happened to you in your life, it was supposed to happen that way. You know, because who you get to be now in your life and your story, just your story alone is showing to the world. It doesn't matter where you're at.
For real.
You want out? You want to create something better for your life?
For real.
You have the power. You've always had the power.
Man.
Man, that is so powerful, and thank you so much for sharing, really.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be on the stage with you all. You know, it's a
This
blessing
is
to
great.
be able to just, like I said, be here with you all, because people, like, what you do, it's a blessing. You know what I mean? You is right there helping people in a relationship that may end prematurely when all they need to do is just get your coaching.
Well, you know, people don't realize how expensive divorces are, and the divorce rates are higher for second marriages. Like, how much does that cost?
Man.
And when you really start realizing that there's healing in being in a loving relationship, because you get to be the best version of you. You get to put that, I don't want to do the work. Why am I always doing the work on the back burner? You get to be the person that somebody else needs. And
Man,
guess
come
what?
on now.
They get to be the person that you need.
Come on.
And how amazing is that? If we all really got that, like, wow, if I stick this out, if I show up and see them newly every day, and I look for all the amazing things that they are and that what they do and who they are as a person,
Man.
your language shifts, your body language
Pieces come
shifts.
together.
Yeah.
Like, I even see how, like, Miss Renee and France, how they interact with each other. They have such a great dynamic relationship. The way they respond is like, it's a puzzle that fit right together. They finish each other's statements sometimes. They joke around. They have fun.
Well, you know, thank you about that. But you know, like Tina said, second divorces cost much more. But you know, I can say, Tina and Belle, and to our viewers, that we serve who a good God.
Come on. Excellent.
We
guy.
serve a good God
Come
that
on,
will
man.
not only give you a second chance, but He continues to give us chances over and over again until what? Until we get it right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Till we get it right. And thanks for people like Tina,
Come on now.
who can come into our lives and help all of us. But as I always say, God loves you and so do we. So have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
I hope you enjoy Always Moving Forward with Renee.
Moving forward.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Vicki Winans, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
Hi, I'm Clifton Davis, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
Hi, everybody. I'm telling you, everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. I'm Evelyn Turrentine, AG, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Pastor D. Alexander Bullock of Preachers of Detroit, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Bishop Edgar Van of Second Ebenezer Church in Detroit, Michigan, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Stanis. You know me best as Thelma from the TV show Good Times, and you are watching Bell Global Network.